Hello, and welcome to Muay Thai Fighting Techniques. This is tape 4. In the prior 3 tapes, we cover the fundamentals, including conditioning. Before attempting the techniques in this tape, you want to make sure you have the basics down. You want to be in good shape and have started to work on the combinations. In this tape, we show you how to apply these techniques in the ring. Now, this is just a sample of some of the fighting techniques that we have in Muay Thai. Now, obviously, in one tape, I'm not going to be able to cover for you all the techniques that we use in the ring. In addition, once you start spending time in the ring, you will start to learn on your own and develop your own combinations and applications. Every fighter that you'll work out with is different, and you should try to learn something from each one of them. Every trainer that you work with will have different things to offer you. Have an open mind and try to develop things on your own. But while you're in the ring, pay attention to what goes on. The ring is a great place to learn. As we went over in tape 1, before you work out, it's imperative that you warm up. You want to have the joints loose, the muscles warm. This is to prevent injuries. If you just jump into working out, you're going to get hurt. Don't forget to jump rope. You want to stretch out. Make sure you're limber. All the things we went over in tape 1. Then we're going to start the shadow box. At first, go slowly, be loose, don't be tight. Don't do the full range of motion, maybe 3/4, and not full speed either. But shortly after I start, I'm going to start going faster and doing the full range of motion. Now you want to do this for 3 rounds before you work out. Shadow box on your own. Feel what you're doing, be aware of what you're doing. It's time to get focused and concentrate. And do it for 3 3-minute rounds. Use all your tools, all your techniques that you've developed. Get yourself ready to go. Always do this before working with any of the equipment. The heavy bag, the small bag, the folks gloves, the kick pads. This is your preparation before you work out. I'm using all of my techniques here. If there's some things that you might want to work on, especially this particular day, concentrate on those. If you want to work on your elbows today, make sure you start with that. If you have a mirror available to you, it's good to use a mirror, and you can see yourself. Alright, now I'm ready to work out. The first thing I want to work with you on is how to use the kick pads in the ring. I'm going to show you how to use the kick pads to work on the leg, the body, and the neck area. One of my students will be joining me. Watch how he holds the pads. I'm going to bring my leg up at 45 degrees. Remember everything from the other tapes. This is a more dynamic training technique, though, more of a fighting technique. Okay. Leg, body, head. You see how Walter drops the pad to work for the legs, comes up with the body kicks, and then brings them higher for the neck kicks. Now Walter is just showing me the pads, and I'm responding and reacting. When I see it low, I kick low, body, and then higher. This works on your timing and your reactions. As difficult as it is to kick these pads, it also takes a great deal of skill to hold the pads properly like this. So that is how you develop the leg kick, the body kick, and the neck kick with the kick pads. Now, in the tape 3, I introduced you to the knee techniques. Here we're going to use the kick pads to develop them more. The straight knee, diagonal knee. I just introduced them before. I'm going to show you now how to work on them, make them stronger. Remember, when you knee, to have more power, you're going to bring your hips in. Using the pads will help you develop a strong knee technique. Bring the legs straight up. Don't forget to point the toes down to protect them, make the legs strong. See how I drive my hips forward? I stand on the ball of the planted foot and I'll pivot off it to get more extension. Now I'm starting to clinch. Standing on the balls of my feet, making my back and shoulders tight, and I bring my body close to the opponent, not far away. This allows me to control him and move him around. Be close. The inclination is to keep yourself far away. You want to knee and then come in. Move him around, yank on his neck, pull him down simultaneously, and then push off. I'm now going to start to go into some specific techniques that you can use against opponent's weapons. The first I'm going to show you is if your opponent has a strong jab. First I will show you some evasive maneuvers and then some counter techniques that you can use subsequent to these evasive techniques. First you must identify if your opponent has a good jab. Then you want to evade it. You might step out. Watch, I'll show you. The first technique I'm going to show you is when the jab comes in, you catch it. Catch it and step out. Move away. Watch for the right hand. He might be setting you up. I catch it, I move out. I keep my elbow up high to protect my cheek and my head, and the other hand stays up also, and I move away from him to evade him. Transfer my power out to this foot so I can come in. I'll show you the counter later. Work this drill over and over. Alright, that's the first one. Now I'm going to show you the second option you have if your opponent has a good jab. I'm going to use the right hand to block it, and then step out. Right hand to block it and step out. Now you want to have both of these tools available to you. Just don't work on one of them. And again, watch for the right hand. He could be setting you up with the left, so he can use the right. This is where you have to start thinking. It's not a matter of just using the techniques. Now we have a third technique we use. We lean back or slide out a little, depending on your opponent's reach and if he's sliding in or if he's just standing there when he throws the jab. Make the adjustment. I lean out, I slide out. Depends on the situation. Be able to do both of them. So those are three evasive techniques that we have if your opponent has a good jab. Now, off of these evasive techniques, we have counters. And while the evasive techniques are important to learn, you use those to build the counters upon. Create an opening for yourself. You're going to catch them and you can come in with the right hook or a left hook. Look for the opening. I catch, I can throw the overhook. I catch, I come with a hook low to the body. Now the hook is a good punch to use here because if you're catching your opponent's hand, you're in close. High, low. Look for the opening. Maybe you can throw both. Alright, so that is the first counter. Now we're stepping out, chopping down, and throwing the cross, a left cross because I switched my lead here. Watch again. Chop down, throw the left. Watch out for the right again. Keep your shoulder up, your head in. Be able to avoid that punch if it comes. I chop down, I throw the left, bring my shoulder up to protect my cheek. Now I've stepped out. This is the third evasion. Step out and then come in. This is more of a timing counter. From either side you can throw the punch. Move out of his reach and then counter. So these are three techniques you can use against an opponent who has a good jab. 3 evasions and 3 counters. If your opponent comes in with good hands, you can also counter with the elbow. As a matter of fact, it is sometimes a more effective technique. Watch as I demonstrate. Jab comes in, I catch it, I step in, overhead elbow. Watch again. Jab comes in, I elevate and then come down with the elbow. I hold that hand down and I'm looking out for that right hand too. When using these elbow techniques in close, keep your chin tucked down so you're not exposed. I catch it, I step out and in. Very effective technique. So I elevate and I come down. I'm on the toe of my back foot. Watch my footwork. Look for that right cross though when you come in. That's why the head's down. You've got to be quick because you're coming in close. Now here's a front elbow instead. I catch it and I come in even closer. Chin is still tucked. I turn my body into him. Bring your hips forward with these elbows. Drive through. So these are some elbow counters. Now we have another way to counter good hand techniques, and that's by using your kick. It's important that you move before you kick though. You can kick them to the leg, to the body, or to the neck, our 3 target zones. But don't stand still as the punch comes in. Evade it with your footwork, and then counter with your kick. It's important that you're not a sitting target. Be moving. You have to have good stamina for this. That's why conditioning is so important in Muay Thai. We expend a lot of energy, burn a lot of calories. It's a good workout, but you've got to be in good shape. Pick your target. Look for the opening for where you can kick him. I'm going to work with Walter once again. Punch comes in. Don't stand there. That's it. It's over. I lean out and I kick. I move my body to avoid. I might even check the punch with my hand, make sure I know where it is, and then I kick. He comes in, I kick. Check it. Punch comes in. Watch out for the other hand though. Now before you can do this, you've really got to work on your kicks. This is the advanced tape. Don't be frustrated if you're not able to perform these maneuvers right off the bat. Now when he throws the punch, I'm looking for what he leaves open for me. Where's the opening? So if someone's got good hands, you can counter with your hands, with your elbows, or kicking them to the leg, the body, the neck. And how you counter depends on your skills. If your elbow technique is good, use it. If your kicking technique is good, use it. But to use any of these techniques, you've got to be in good shape. The art of Muay Thai is a very difficult one to learn. The push kick is another option that you can use if your opponent has a good jab. Depending on the opening that he leaves you, you can use one of the various push kicks that we showed you already. Now make sure you keep your hands when you push kick. Don't drop them down. Keep your hands up. You can drop the hand as you kick, but bring it right back up as you bring the foot back down. Watch for the counter. He might set you up the jab and then throw the cross if you drop your hands. But the push kick is good because it allows you to keep your distance if the opponent is throwing the jab. The timing's important. As you see the jab coming, watch how I throw the kick. I lean out a little, out of his reach. Push kick low to the leg, a little higher to the stomach. Now when you work out with a partner, don't use the heel. That's a stronger one. None of this is full power. We're working on our techniques here. We're not sparring, we're not fighting. Now Walter's taller than me, but I'm still able to keep him off of me with my kicks because the legs are longer. So the push kick is really good to keep your opponent's punches off you. Also, the hand has a glove on it, the foot doesn't, so the kicks are more powerful than a punch. The important thing is the timing. You've got to time your push kick to arrive as his punch is leaving. And we can also use our knee techniques to counter if your opponent has good hands. Now if he's using the hands and you want to use a knee, you're going to come in close. This works well against someone who has a long reach. You're taking away that advantage from him by stepping inside and then kneeing him. So you not only want to look at your opponent's skills, you want to look at their physical attributes and see how you can best use them to your advantage. Punch comes in, I check it, look for the cross, I'm outside. Now, he can punch me here, full extension. He can get a lot of power into his punches because I'm away from him. If I move in, it's another story. I catch it and I move in and knee him. And I grab him on the back of the neck instead of holding the head, and I use opposing pressure. I pull, then I can really go to town if I get a hold of his neck with both hands. I'm using all my knee techniques here. Straight knee, diagonal, curved. I come in and I bridge the distance. That's the opening move. That's to get the first knee in. Semi-knee kick also if you're a little farther away. Use that. Now you just saw me use some knee techniques in the clinching situations. I'd like to go more specifically into that at this point. If you get your opponent in a clinch, you can really work him good. Really inflict some damage because you're using your leverage, you're pulling down on him and pulling and kneeing him at the same time. It's important when you get in the clinch that you bring your elbows together. Don't have them apart like this. Want them together. That will prevent him from countering straight up the middle at you. And you want to move him, twist him. Either way. Now if he's resisting you, you can use his momentum to move him the way that he's leaning into, or move him the other way. Don't be predictable. Move out, and then move the leg back, and then knee up into him. As you move, you want to set up the knee. You're not just moving around to move him around, you want to move him and then knee him. Set him up. Watch how I do it. I clench, I'm on my toes. Not just because Walter's taller, it gives me more leverage. My elbows are together, I pull down, my back leg comes up, and I knee him. Again, controlling him just by pulling on his head. I can come up and high if he's protecting low. Pull down hard and then knee up. This really tires somebody out. I'm pulling him down far enough here where I can knee him in the head actually. I'm moving Walter not just to the left and right but also in and out. The idea here is to move him where he least expects it. We're now going to move on countering techniques for elbows. If your opponent comes in with good elbows, your countering techniques are more limited. You don't want to use hands, and you don't want to use knees. An elbow technique is an in-close technique, so hands don't put enough distance between you and the opponent. What you want to use are your kicks. That's going to push him away from you and not allow him to use his elbows. If he's coming in with his elbows, that must be one of his better skills. So to negate that, you want to push him away. Kick him off. Kick him in the arms, and he won't be able to use his elbows. But keep your hands up. Don't get elbowed. While you're evading him, don't let him get you. If you move straight back, his momentum will carry him into you. Be light on your feet and move out at an angle. That will allow you to counter with your legs and push him off. Now I'm using a variety of kicks here. Again, timing's important. Now Walter again is taller than me, so he's got the advantage of the reach with his elbow. I've really got to work hard to push him off my legs. But by repeatedly kicking him in the arms, you'll make their arms sore and they'll lose the mobility in their arms. Keep your hands up. In this next section, we're going to deal with how you want to counter if your opponent has a good leg technique. If he kicks to the leg, to the body, or to the neck and head. In each instance, it's a little different. The first we'll deal with is if he's kicking to your leg. Footwork's important here. You want to be able to be light on your feet and move out and away, and use that to evade him. As the kick comes in, I just slide out. He's trying to kick my front leg, I just slide out. Now, if I need to cover more distance, I hop. It's a matter of judging and how big he is in his reach and how much he jumps in. I jump back much farther there. I had to get out of the way. I hop back and then come back in. I use the energy as I spring back to propel myself back in. Out and in. I want to counter. I just don't want to evade him. I want to evade and then counter. Move out, in and punch. Or move out, in and kick. Look for the opening. Out, in, kick him in the back of the legs. Or I block with my shin and then punch. This is different. Now I'm blocking. I'm not moving out. Block and kick with the same leg. Block and kick with the other leg. Block, kick him in the back. I just push him off. I jam him. As I see the leg come up, I jam his knee here. He can't bring the leg up any higher. I jam his hip. You've got to be quicker than your opponent to do this. Slide out, kick him to the body. Slide out, punch. Don't use the same technique over and over. Mix it up. Use different ones. Don't let him predict what you're going to do next. Now in that last section, I introduced the block. Let's talk in more detail about this. This is a sophisticated technique to develop. You're going to block with the shin bone. Raise the leg, somewhat similar to kneeing, but don't use the muscle. use the muscle, you're going to get hurt. You want to go bone to bone. Don't use the outside of the leg where the muscle is. You want to use the flat part of the shin bone. When you kick, you use the sharp edge, the leading edge of the bone. When you block, you use the flat part of the shin. Bring it up and block. Don't drop your hands. From either side. Now it takes some time to be able to do this. Your balance, coordination. Watch as I apply it. Now when you practice this, you want to go soft at first. I have two types of blocks I'm going to show you. Cross block. That's a cross block, cross my body. And that's an outside block. Now when you do these blocks, make your body tight on that side, your leg and also your shoulder, because when you block with your leg, he might try to kick over your leg and up to your arm. And if you're loose and soft, you can get knocked down. Be tight. You've got to absorb the impact. On the other side. You've really got to condition your shins on the bag before you start to develop this technique. And again, don't be predictable. Watch how the kick comes up and then use a different block. Cross block, outside block. Mix it up. Now if you can't block and the kick is coming higher to the body, you want to catch it. Catch it and turn. I catch it. I can lift up. Make sure you keep your hand up so he doesn't punch you. And I move him back. Again, I catch it. I keep my hand out. Or I can crank hard on it on the ankle. Once you catch, there's a variety of things to do. Now I catch and I turn out. Instead of pushing him back, I turn him around and I move away. I step out and crank hard on the leg. If you do this hard enough, you can break the ankle. Now there's another option when you catch the leg. You can lift up and push them back. Push them back and then follow in. I grab it, I lift up, I push him back, and then I follow in. Push him right into the ropes. Don't stop. Catch, lift up, push back. And that's if he can keep his balance. Sometimes he'll fall right down. Now after you've developed your blocking techniques and your catching skills, you can use them in more of a freelance way. And you'll do that by playing with your partner, going lightly, going back and forth, both of you taking turns trying to kick and block and mix it up. Block and bring it right back. And do this lightly. You're not trying to fight each other. You're working on your techniques and timing. We're just playing here, working on our leg techniques. So these are some things you can do if your opponent has good leg kicks or good body kicks. We're now going to move on to if your opponent tries to kick you in the neck. Again, footwork's important here. If you don't move, you'll get kicked in the head. So we lean back, lean out of the kick. You see it coming, lean out. Keep your hands up, counter. Lean out, and then come back in. Bend from the waist. Don't come forward. Bend back from the waist. I get on the ball of that back foot to support myself. Bring my weight back, and then spring forward if I see an opening to counter. Keep your hands up when they kick to the head, and then counter with those hands. Come in quick if you can. Kick to the leg if you can. Look for the opening. You lean back and come in with one of your tools. When you get to this point, you've got to really look for the openings and use techniques that you've developed, your strengths. You can use the knee. It's a matter of being adaptive and seeing what openings are available to you. Come in with the elbow. You'd be closer after this. Remember the ranges we talked about for each of these skills. If he's in close, use the hook and uppercut. Remember, if your opponent tries to kick you in the head and he misses, there's a good chance to be off balance, so it's a great time to counter. His momentum is going to turn him around, and he might even slip and fall on his own. So these are evasive and defensive techniques and countering techniques that you can employ if your opponent is trying to kick you to the head. The next thing we're going to cover are techniques that you can use if your opponent catches your leg. We showed you how to catch the leg before. Now I'm going to show you what to do if it happens to you. There are several different things that we do depending on your opponent's position after he catches your leg. You either want to pull him into you or push him away from you. You can turn your knee in and pull him in closer. Grab his head, slip your foot between his legs onto the cup, push out and pull in at the same time, or you bring your knee to his chest. I kick, Walter catches my leg. Try to kick him off, don't let him hold on to the leg, is the first I want to show you. He has my leg, I use my hamstring, my leg strength to kick him away. Don't let him have a good hold of it. The second is I'm going to turn my knee in and try to pull him in with my leg. Use my leg strength. Twisting my leg so he can't get a good hold of it again. I use my knee, now I slip it underneath. Come inside instead of going outside with my foot. And I pull down on the head simultaneously. He should lose his balance if I do this quick enough. Or I can bring the knee to the chest. I slip the foot in again, bring the knee to the chest, and pull down on his head. Make him sorry that he grabbed your leg. Make him pay for it. Because you're vulnerable when he grabs your leg. You've got to be quick. Just don't let him hold on to it. Do something. Bend the knee in, kick him off, or slip your foot between his legs and pull him down, pull him off balance. You've got to react quickly to the situation. Pull his chest into your knee. The next thing we're going to cover here is if your opponent comes at you with push kicks. Again, footwork's the first thing we're going to work on. If he tries to push kick to your leg or your body, you want to move out of his reach, move out of his range. Don't let him kick you. Move out. Just slide back. No farther than necessary. Or step out. Or step to the side. Slide my leg back. Slide back. Slide back. Keep your hands up. Don't be tight. Be ready to throw a punch. slide out,
อันที่สองเปลี่ยนข้างนะครับ
or step back.
นะครับเปลี่ยนข้างเห็นไหมฮะเปลี่ยนข้างอันที่สามไลด์แบ็ก
Hop
เข้า
out.
มาใหม่
I gain more distance away from my opponent there. Then come right back in.
ต่อไปมันจะออกด้านข้าง
Try to set yourself up
ออกด้านข้าง
off of the evasion. Set yourself up so you can counter.
โอเคนะครับตัวนี้ผมจะทำให้เร็วที่สุดนะฮะไม่ติดแฟน
Try to fool your opponent. Maybe he thinks you're going to slide, but you can step back and then come back with something. Study your opponent.
เห็นไหมครับการป้องกันทีนี้
So these are some of the techniques that you can employ to avoid your opponent's attempt to push kick you to the leg.
บุกเขาตอบทำเขาตอบอาจจะเป็น
Now,
หมัด
after you avoid his kick to your leg, you want to
เรา
counter
จะเป็นเข่า
with the knee, the kick of your own, elbow, punch,
มือก่อนนะครับสำหรับหมัดก่อน
whatever is opening for you.
ก้าวไปแล้วครับฮุกเลยนะฮะ
Hook punch, long hook is good to use.
ฮุกฮับหมัดขวาตรงครับโค้งเลยฮะอันที่สองก็คือศอกนะฮะครับศอกหนักเข้าไปเลย
Look for the opening
ศอกเข้าไปเลยนะฮะ
and use your weapon.
ครับศอกเข้าไปเลยอันที่สามคือเข่านะฮะเข่า
Now, if he really thinks he's going to be able to kick you and you move out, he should lose his balance a little bit and fall into your punch or kick, which will only make it all the more effective.
ครับเตะเห็นไหมฮะพอก้าวเราเตะเลยครับครับเตะครับเตะขา
Make him sorry that he tried to attack you.
เห็นไหมครับนี่คือการป้องกันสำหรับเขาถีบขาเรา
So
และป้องกันสำหรับ
that's how you handle if he's trying to push kick to your
เมื่อ
legs.
เขา
Now, if he's push kicking higher to the body,
เราจะทำอย่างไรแล้วเมื่อเขาต่อ
there are some
สู้
different
เราแล้ว
techniques that we'll
เราต้องการ
employ.
ให้เราแพ้น็อกให้เราเจ็บเราจะหนีให้ได้ต่อจากนั้นเราต้องบุกเขาต่อ
Again, footwork's important. Don't be a sitting target.
ถ้าเขาถีบที่หน้า
Be light on
ท้
your
อง
feet.
เราถีบที่หน้าท้องเรา
He'll be kicking higher
กันอย่างนี้นะครับอันดับแรก
to try to kick you in the stomach and the body with a push kick.
ปัดเขาออกนะ
You can grab his leg, you can step out,
แล้วเราปัดเขา
just
ต่อ
push it aside.
เห็นไหมแล้วปัดเขาออกฮะตีด้วยข้อมือฮะตีด้วยข้อมือ
Turn your hand out and use the palm.
โลนะครับครับนะไม้ตีเขาออก
Push it out.
อันที่สองตีเข้าด้านในนะฮะตีเข้าด้านใน
Or turn it in and grab him.
นะฮะตีเข้าด้านใน
Now, I'm not holding it tight here, I'm just pushing it out and grabbing it,
ล็อกเขาอย่างนี้นะฮะยกขึ้นเฉยๆยกขึ้น
trying to make him lose his balance, make his momentum, knock him
ย
down,
กขึ้นสูงนะเขาถีบเรา
using his own energy against himself.
ง่ายครับ
Or I can hold it.
เราตีด้วยข้อมือเราจับ
Using the
จั
back
ข้
of
อ
my
ยก
hand
ขึ้นหรือถ้าเราด้านในนะฮะเราตีเขาด้านในฮุกถ้าเราฮุก
So I can go to either side,
ครั้งหนึ่งนะฮะ
in or out.
การตีครับนี่คือการตี
Out
ตีปัดออกนะฮะปัดออกอันที่สามตีเขาด้านในนะฮะ
Or in
เห็นไหมครับมือขวาต่อยได้เลย
And then I can punch, counter. Grab it,
ครั้งหนึ่งด้านนอกครับแล้วจับด้านนอก
be ready to counter. Move him back. From all of these defensive techniques, you want to set yourself up so that you're able to counter.
การป้องกันสำหรับเขา
And that's what I want to move on to next.
เมื่อป้องกันเขาแล้ว
When your opponent comes at you with a push kick to the body,
เราต้องบุกเขาตอบ
we're going to grab it, push it away,
ดูง่ายๆ
and then we're going to counter.
ดูนะผมจะปัดเขาออก
Tries to kick, I grab it to the outside, and I can kick out the other leg and knock him down. Sweep him out. Or kick out both legs if I drop it. Or kick him to this other side.
เตะขาหน้านะฮะเตะขาหน้าหรือผมจะยับเขา
Set yourself up.
มานะฮะยกขึ้นมา
Push him back into the ropes, then when he comes off,
หรือต่อไปอย่างนี้ฮะ
counter.
ปังปังปังฮุก
Long hook,
นะฮะปั๊บก่อนลำตัว
punch to the body, punch to the head,
ศอกนะครับฮึบศอก
elbow.
นะ
If your defensive technique is good enough, you will be able to set yourself up
นี่เรื่องเข่า
for a counter that will make them very sorry for their attempted attack. Knee. Look for the openings.
เห็นไหมครับ
Know your skills. Know your strengths.
ทั้งศอกทั้งหมัดทั้งเตะ
So these are some evasive techniques you can use
เขาพุชมาเราที่ลำตัวเราแก้
if your opponent comes at you with the push kicks.
เมื่อเราเขาพลาดเราปัด
You can push him out, push him in,
เขาตอบเขาเลือกผิด
kick him. We're going to talk more, and I'm going to show you on how to counter the push kick with a push kick. And this is a drill actually that we do in my seminars and my classes. And we work in partners going back and forth. Helps us both develop the push kick and counters to
ให้
it.
ดูว่า
We're now going to cover evasive and defensive techniques you can employ if your opponent tries to clinch and knee you.
ฉะนั้นเราจะป้องกันตั้งแต่
Now the best thing to do is, as he comes in and tries to grab your head, you want to prevent him from doing that. If he can't grab your head, then he can't knee you as easily or as powerfully. You want to elevate on your toes. Don't let him compress you. As he comes in, meet his arms. Comes in, tries to grab you, elevate and push his arms up. Meet him. Don't let him grab you. Be strong and tight, elevate from the feet, don't squat down. Make yourself tall and tight and strong. Block it. Elevate up. That's the first thing you want to do. You see him coming in to grab your head, you meet him with your arms, then bring your leg up. This is the second step. You can go between the legs. You block him, and before he can knee you knee him first. You've got to be quicker. Or you can turn the knee over. Instead of going between the legs, go to the stomach with your knee. Be tight in the shoulders. Don't let him compress you.
ต่อไปผมจะหมุนตัวออกนะฮะ
Or move out. Just move out, and now I can kick him in the back. Just move out. Twist his arms.
ต่อไปนี้ถ้าเขาจับเราได้นะฮะเราจะทำอย่างไรเขาจับคอเราได้นะฮะดูนะเขาจะจับคอผม
Now if he does grab your neck, you still want to be on your toes, elevate. Be tight in the shoulders. Grab his neck, pull it one way, and push the elbow up also to get yourself out. I'm going to pull his neck down, push the elbow up. See my hands? And slip my head out. And then knee him. And pull down on the neck, push up in the elbow, slide out and around. I can knee him in the back. Stay on your toes when you get in a clinch. Elevate. Be tight in the shoulders. Now, I'm jamming him with my knee across his body so he can't move his legs into me. I'm keeping him away from me so he can't move in to knee me. So those are some techniques that you can use if your opponent gets you in a clinch, but you can prevent him from kneeing you. Most of the fighters who have good knee technique need to get you in that clinch. Now there's other counters that we can do either before the clinch or when you're in it, with the hands, the elbows. I'll show you those now. Prevent it and knee directly. Prevent it and knee. Just meet his arms, be strong in your arms and shoulders, twist him out and kick him. Step out and kick. You see that his arms come up to grab your neck or your head, you want to move out. That's the most important thing. That's the first step to avoid getting kneed in a clinch. Meet him an elbow, meet him an uppercut. He's coming in close, so you want to use your uppercut and hook punches. Or your elbows. As his arms come up, his ribs are open. So go for the ribs or the stomach. Go inside. Now we've covered a lot of material in these 4 tapes, and to work on it you really need a partner to work with. But to really accelerate your development, if you can have access to authentic Muay Thai instruction with a real instructor, you'll learn quicker and faster and really become a more skilled fighter. What I want to show you here are some combinations of everything: punches, elbows, knees, and kicks. Now this is just a starting point. It's important that you work on what I show you here, but it's more important that you develop your own combinations based on your strengths and how strong your skills get as you acquire them. Be creative.
มวยไทยทั้งหมด
Don't be narrow-minded.
แต่เราสามารถหยิบ
There are many, many
นำไปฝึก
possibilities.
ได้นะครับ
These are just some of them.
ผมจะโชว์ประมาณสัก10
This is where we start to put it all together.
โอเคนะครับดูตัวอย่างแบบที่หนึ่งนะฮะ
Now the first thing I'm going to do for you
เราจะแยก
is a jab, right cross, left kick.
แล้วก็เตะซ้ายนะฮะอีกครั้งหนึ่งก่อนเราจะฝึกให้หนักๆนะฮะเราต้องฝึกให้ร่างกาย
Again, don't be flat-footed.
หนึ่งสอง
Be light on your
ดู
feet.
ว่าเราจะเตะได้ไหมก้าวปังนะฮะอีกครั้งหนึ่งช้าๆหนึ่งแยกให้มืออย่าตกนะฮะ
Jab,
ขวา
the
กลับ
cross,
เข้ามาซ้าย
and then the kick.
โอเคให้เร็วขึ้นนะครับ
Don't rush yourself. Set up for the kick. Jab, cross, kick. You use the punches to set up the kick. In Muay Thai, the kicks are your power. It's good if you can knock them out with the punch, but you want to kick them.
อันที่สองก็คือต่อยปัง
Jab, right cross, right kick.
นะฮะง่าย
You want to be able to kick with either side of your body after this combination. 1-2 left kick, 1-2 right kick.
มือจะตก
Remember how we kick? Launch off the back foot, turn the body,
ยืนให้ปลายเท้าตัวเอง
bend the front knee a little, spring up.
หนึ่งสองตัด
Your kick should be good by now. I'm not going to go over the basics.
ปัง
We're working on combining all the elements
ครับเร็วนะค
so
รับ
that you can spar and fight in the ring. 1-2, right kick. Jab cross, right kick.
คอมบิเนชั่นที่สาม
Next,
ก็คือ
push
หนึ่ง
kick, round kick,
ทีบ
knee and elbow.
เตะ
Push the opponent off, round kick, bring the leg back, knee, and then throw the elbow.
ทีบเตะพอเตะแล้วกลับที่เดิม
This is good if your opponent's coming in, you want to get him off you with a push kick. Push him off, round kick, bring the leg back, knee, and then the elbow.
เห็นไหมครับช้าๆทีบ
Push him off, round kick, come in with the knee, and then the elbow.
โอเคครับ
Left push kick, right round kick, right knee, right elbow. Start slow with these combinations and then gradually build the speed and power. Give yourself time to learn them before you rush yourself through it. Next, we have the jab, round kick, and then we're going to clinch and knee him.
แล้วก็จับคอ
Come in close and then throw the knee.
ครั้งหนึ่งยับ
Jab, round
พยา
kick,
ยามจับเขา
clinch, and knee.
ถ้าโยกเขาตี
Move them with the clinch.
โอเคครับ
We use the jab to bridge the distance and then come in. Set things up with the jab. Jab, round kick, grab him and knee him. Move him with the clinch.
เตะขวา
Right kick, and then the hook. Double right kick.
เตะวับวับกลับมาฮุกโอเคครับเตะปังปังฮุก
If you kick him hard enough with the right twice, he should move to the left, and then he's going into your hook.
ปังฮุก
Or he might try to move out and avoid your kick,
สอกขึ้นมา
especially the second one.
ครั้งหนึ่งปังปัง
And then you have the hook.
เห็นไหมครับ
Come through with the elbow on the hook. You might catch him with the elbow.
ฮุก
Kick, kick, hook. Kick, kick, hook. Vary your timing and your beat and rhythm. Don't always be bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, beat, hook.
แล้วการมวยต่อยขวาให้หลอกต่อยขวา
Next, it's
ต่อย
right hand, left hook.
ซ้ายฮุกซ้ายแล้ว
Clinch him, knee, push him away from you, and then kick him.
อีกครั้งหนึ่งนะ
After the clinch, you want to push the opponent out. After you're done kneeing him and cranking him around, push him away from you and finish him with a kick.
นะครับนะต่อยปังปังจับ
Clinch, knee, maybe two knees, push him out and kick him.
นะครับยืนรอ
Clinch, knee, push him out, and kick. Set him up with the punches, come in, clinch, knee, push him away from you, and kick him. Now I'm doing it a little faster for you. All these combinations, start slowly, acquire the skills, and move on. Block with the shin, replace the leg, kick, and then push him off. This is fairly difficult, blocking and kicking with the same leg. You've got to reload, you've got to replace your leg so you can kick afterwards. Block, kick, and then push him away. Either side, block, kick, push kick. All three with the same leg. Block, kick, push kick. Block, kick, push kick. I'm moving Walter pretty good here. It's fairly difficult to perform all three with one leg. You're going to block with the shin, kick, knee the other side, and then the elbow. Left block, kick, knee, elbow. Block, round kick, knee, elbow. Block, round kick, knee, and then the elbow. Left block, left round kick, right knee, right elbow. Left block, left kick, right knee, right elbow. Catch the leg here, punch him while you're holding the leg, and then kick him. Catch and hold, and then kick. Catch, punch, kick. Catch him, punch, and then kick. Catch, punch, kick. Next, we're going to catch his leg, pull him into us, kick both thighs, and he should fall over. And then his head will be low and you kick high. Kick low and then high. Watch how this works. Catch the leg, kick low, kick high. Catch the leg, kick both legs low, and kick high. When you kick both legs low, he might double over and bring his head down or his upper body down, and that's why you want to kick high. You're setting up that high kick with the low kick before it. That's the strategy we're employing here. Now we're going to kick to the leg, kick to the body, kick to the neck. All three zones, one after the other. Low, body, neck. What this will do is your opponent may try to cover one of these spots. If you kick low, he may try to cover down there. Then you go to the body, you may try to cover the body, and he'll leave the head open. You're trying to create an opening for yourself. And the neck is the best place to kick, if you can. Low to the leg, into the body, and then higher to the neck. Double leg, double body, double neck. This drill is great for two things. One, you're going to hone your skills, and two, you'll build your endurance. If you can do 3 rounds of this, you're ready for a fight.